This is History Myths and Myth Conceptions. And today's myth is Diogenes lived in a barrel. First of all, the famous Cynic philosopher Diogenes, and what we know about him from Lives of the Eminent Philosophers by Diogenes Laertius, well, we can't be sure how many of the anecdotes from this book are actually based on reality. Diogenes, in a way, became a myth himself. And now to the barrel, because this popular myth, or more precisely a popular misunderstanding, is based on the anecdote from Diogenes Laertius. Diogenes lived in a pithos, at least for a while. Pithos is not really a barrel, but close. It is essentially a large jar made of clay. It was used as a storage container for more or less everything, mostly food, like grain, and obviously wine and olive oil. This is basically how you store things at home or in a warehouse. And that's what you use to transport goods. These containers usually had handles, so you could put the rope around and lift the pithos using some sort of a crane or tracks or some other device. Because, yeah, this thing could be quite heavy even when it was empty. And huge containers, when full, were essentially immovable. And like any storage container, pithos could be relatively small and could be quite large. Apparently, the large version was used by Diogenes, but we don't really know the size of the thing. What we can see on the romanticized paintings of Diogenes is probably not very accurate. Pithoi, that's the plural of pithos, were usually smaller. So it is hard to say if Diogenes was really living big in his tiny house. We know from another anecdote from Diogenes Laertius that at some point some youngster broke up the pithos of Diogenes. So the citizens of Athens, who loved the philosopher and his outrageous stunts, presented Diogenes with a new pithos, and the boy was flogged. In a way, Diogenes can be considered, if not the inventor, but at least the original advocate of the tiny house movement. So if you ever wanted to build yourself a nice, small, and inexpensive house, you can always follow the example of, I think I should stop.